Good Friday evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back, everybody, to Southwest Arkansas weather on February the 14th, 2025. As of 8:50, taking a look at the severe weather outlook mainly for tomorrow. But first, we're going to start off with current conditions. You can see temperatures right now ranging from the upper to mid 40s around Mena. In the lower 50s elsewhere, we're seeing scattered showers and storms. We've been seeing that. We are watching an isolated flood threat potentially overnight throughout the overnight hours along the I-30 corridor area here. Now this may be just a little, this circle may need to go a little further out, but just around that I-30 corridor area through the overnight hours where 2 inches of rainfall could be possible, where you're seeing a lot of trailing at that sort of thing. But you're going to continue to see showers and storms as we move forward throughout the rest of the overnight time frame tonight into tomorrow morning. And if we take a look, we do have that severe weather risk in place there for portions of your area come tomorrow morning, or come tomorrow. And when you take a look at this, this shows you that we have an enhanced risk, that orange color area, a level 3 out of 5. Therefore, you're just south of Camden, over towards the Hampton area, down towards El Dorado, Union County, and portions of Columbia County. Outside of that, you have this yellow colored area. That is your slight risk. That is your 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. That goes for about Malvern, Sheridan, over to just north of Fordyce, Camden, Hope, Texarkana, Magnolia, Prescott, Antoine, those areas. And then you have the marginal risk, that green colored area there, as a level 1 out of 5, your very low end severe weather threat. That goes for the Hot Springs, Mount Ida, Glenwood, Murfreesboro, Delight, Nashville, Derricks, DeQueen, Ashdown, Foreman areas. And once again, we are watching the specific threats closely. Right now, we are watching the tornado threat. As you can see, you have that green colored area where that slight risk or marginal risk is at. That includes Hot Springs, down towards the Delight, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Ashdown areas. That green is a 2% or a very low end tornado threat. Then that brown color, which includes Arkadelphia, Malvern, Sheridan, down to Camden, Hope, Prescott, Magnolia, Texarkana. That's your 5%. That's a lower end threat, but it's just a step up from the 2%. Then you have your medium end tornado threat in this yellow colored area. That goes for Pine Bluff down to El Dorado, just eastern portions of Columbia County and Union County down there as well. Once again, and just south of the Camden area there. That's your yellow colored area. You do see these little dashes here on that, in that same area. What that means is there's a chance for a few strong tornadoes inside that area. The tornado risk looks higher, and we're going to go over the data and all this here in just a moment. So here in a minute, it will get technical, talking about the graphic, or talking about the forecast and all of that fun stuff. But we'll just break it down simple real quick for you here. Once again, looking at this, right now, the tornado threat is highest over southeastern Arkansas down into Mississippi, Louisiana, those general areas there as well. So taking a look now here at your damaging wind outlook, you can see here that there's that brown colored low end threat there for your area, for where that marginal risk is at. Then that yellow 15% medium area, that's for where your slight risk is at in that yellow colored area. Then your higher damaging wind threat there in the red colored area is pretty much where we're going to get later in the day at, when storms really develop into a line or squall line later in the day. And we'll talk about this here in just a moment. Large hail is not as big of a threat, but it's still worth noting that there could be some storms that could produce some large hail, but not as big of a threat as the tornado and damaging wind outlooks there as well. So real quickly, we're going to take a look now at the data behind this. Now, once again, we're going to go through all 4 of these models here. Basically, what you're looking at here is your 500 millibar level heights. This is going to get a little technical, so just a heads up in advance. I'm going to try to break it down the best I can. This is in your upper level or mid-level of the atmosphere, your 500 millibar heights. This is showing wind. So this is pretty much your jet stream that runs through here. You see this dip right here in the jet stream. This is what we like to call our troughs. And you can see this here indicated that pretty much this is our weather maker. This is going to bring the storms and showers and the flow that we need and some support that we need to get our severe weather storms. Once again, that's right now this is over a sum, and that's helping us get just, and you see these little kinks in these darker colored lines here. That's a good indicator that there's a short wave there, and what that is, that just helps you get your storms, that sort of information there, or that sort of things there. And you can see that right around here, that there's an area there that shows that at the 700 millibar level height, which is a little lower in the atmosphere, but that shows you why we're getting our rain right now. But once again, this trough is going to move towards the Arkansas and the southeastern portion of the U.S. as we go forward throughout the overnight hours. Once again, this 500 millibar level of heights, where usually you get your overall patterns that help you generate your system, your weather that we see. These usually help give you your greater chances for rain, all that sort of stuff. Just, there's a lot that goes into it, but simple way to put it, this is your general, just one of the many tools that we look at your weather pattern and that sort of information. So as we go forward throughout the overnight hours, you'll see that this will start to move closer towards us. As it does, you can see these winds start to move from the entrance region to the exit region this side, or this side of the curve of the trough, as we move towards tomorrow. And this is about midday tomorrow. You'll see that the highest wind speeds, or your jet streak, is still down here around the center of the trough. And as we move towards lunch, you'll start to see that that flow and energy out of the southwest starts to pick up. One thing to mention, that this will move forward throughout the overnight hours, and this will continue to bring more severe weather further east. But by about by late tomorrow afternoon, our severe weather threat should come to an end. But once again, this moves off and increases there towards the east, and right now that looks to be about almost a positively tilted trough, which it's angled. The way you got to look at it's the way it's angled. It looks like it's angled about from the northeast down south. It's there in the lines that you see here, the little dips in those pressure lines that you see there as well. So taking a look at another model, this is the North American model. This shows something very similar. It has your trough off over there in the California area. Starts to deepen some there and starts to bring that higher level flow and higher wind speeds, or higher flow in towards over the Arkansas area come that afternoon, evening time frame, or really throughout the day on Saturday. Then that moves off across our area. The European model shows pretty much something similar. This is a little earlier in the day as when this model was. This is the 18Z run, which is around lunch. The 00Z, which is what we were showing on the NAM, and the HRRR was around about 6-7 p.m.-ish time frame there as well. The European model shows this continuing to move towards us once again by that evening time frame on Saturday into the afternoon and evening, shows that higher flow over the Arkansas area. Once again, this is just one of the tools that you need for forecasting, not the only. We're going to talk about some more of that here in just a minute, but we'll talk about the GFS now, what this has. Give me just 1 second and let that load. And as we move forward, you'll notice that this shows that same similar thing, maybe just a little higher in the speed of the trough, but it continues to show that southwesterly flow there with that as well. So real quickly, I do want to take a look more at a regional-wide outlook of this, and the reason for this, I want to show you what dew points look like. This is your moisture level. So this is what we call our warm sector. You got to have that moisture to get your storms, that sort of information. And right now you'll see it's been dry. We had a front that moved through Wednesday. That's helped keep us on the drier side and push those dew points into the Gulf. But with that trough moving in, you'll notice that flow starts to allow that moisture to start to come back north into Saturday. And you see we're going to have, here's your front back off over here in Oklahoma. This is around lunchtime on Saturday. You'll see that we have an area, these darker blues and colors here, about 60 degree dew points, and that's what you want to see for a warm sector there. And then as we go forward throughout the day, by tomorrow night, that front moves that cold air, or that moist air, off into the Mississippi and Alabama area. So now taking a look also on the European model as well, and just give me 1 second, let me get over here to all of this on the same on the same track over here and get to the dew point values on all of this here at a regional wide level. Same thing on the HRRR. Give me just one moment. But once again, continuing to just basically break down what we're seeing with this and try to do it in simple ways. So taking a look at the European model, still shows something similar, dry conditions, but as we head into tomorrow, by tomorrow morning, you start to see an increase in that moisture or warm, or that moisture area, that warm nose that you see there with that, and that continues to increase and showing dew points in the 60s. So there will be a warm sector there. One thing I will mention with that flow that we showed earlier, or just a few minutes ago, that 500 millibar level wind heights, usually you won't, if you want a higher tornado wind threat, you're gonna want that trough to be, or your highest flow to be more over the warm sector. That looks to get there. That looks to be a little off more towards your west. So there's still a tornado threat there, but if you wanted a higher tornado threat, you would want that flow to be a little further to the east, with over that warm nose across the southeastern Arkansas area, southern Arkansas, and in the Mississippi, Louisiana area. But once again, you can see here, basically what we're pointing at is that there's going to be some warm air, or warm, moist air tomorrow, and you can see that on dew points here. The NAM shows the same general thing. There's going to be that warm nose that goes over southeastern, southern portions of Arkansas. That stays there throughout tomorrow. Then that front moves through and pushes that away. The HRRR shows something similar as well. Has that flow coming in, and then has it moving out tomorrow, or has those dew points moving out tomorrow. Temperature-wise, the HRRR shows temperatures tomorrow getting up into the 60s, maybe even to the lower 70s there, or into the mid-70s potentially before that front moves through. So you're definitely going to have that warm, moist air that you need there as well. So real quickly, I do want to take a quick look here at the mixed level CAPE. CAPE is your energy, basically, your storm fuel. That's what you need to help fire storms off. And when you look at this, you'll see that there'll be some energy and CAPE there as we go throughout the day tomorrow. This right now shows about 500 to 1,000 joules of CAPE over southeastern Arkansas tomorrow afternoon. If we take a look at surface-based CAPE, you'll see an increase in that as well. That there's definitely going to be an area that we'll have to watch in southeast Arkansas where you have 1,000 joules of CAPE over that Union County, southeast Arkansas area as that comes north. And you can see there's definitely going to be some storm fuel in play here as you're looking at 1,000 to almost 2,000 joules of CAPE there across that enhanced risk area. And then as that moves through, that shows you, or that moves through, and that allows that energy to fade away also there as well. Now, taking a look on another model, the North American model shows something similar. It gives you a general idea. There's going to be an area down here. It's not as strong on the NAM as what this HRRR showed, but there is still going to be an area of 1,000 joules of CAPE potentially there in this enhanced risk area. Once again, European model, it shows something similar there as well. Once again, just going to continue to show you that there's going to be some CAPE and instability there. There's going to be that storm fuel there that we need for storms, and we're going to continue to monitor this, and if we need to do another video tomorrow before the severe weather, we will. But I think we're going to have to watch for a few severe storms, maybe even a few tornadoes potentially, over the southeast Arkansas area. That includes the El Dorado, Union County area. I want to watch that tornado risk outside of that area as well. Once again, in those areas that we mentioned that have a severe weather threat, you still have a severe weather threat, so you're going to want to stay weather aware and just have multiple ways to receive warnings just in case. You can see here, there the GFS shows that 1,000 joules of CAPE there as well. So real quickly, let's zoom in on the Arkansas area and show you what we could potentially see as we move forward throughout this time frame. Once again, just continue to remember this is model guidance. This isn't just this. This is going to continue. This isn't always going to be 100%. This is what's going to happen. This just helps us give the general idea. But as you can see, shows for pretty much right around the time that we have scattered showers, some thunderstorms. That trend's going to continue overnight, then into tomorrow morning. Then you'll see there's going to be storms and showers, and then they'll start to form into a line later that afternoon time frame. Probably about middle of the day, they try to start to form in that line into a squall line. Here's about 3 p.m. You can see around that time frame just shows you that there's some storms moving down here through El Dorado. Southeastern Arkansas by 4 p.m. time frame, 5 p.m., 6, and then 7, and then that moves through as a squall line throughout the rest of Mississippi and that into the late evening and overnight hours. So I really want to watch the afternoon, early afternoon into late afternoon, early evening time frame for our coverage area. Definitely down here in the El Dorado area. Once again, damaging winds looks like a good possibility, good potential, and a large or a damage or a tornado threat, maybe even a potential for a few strong tornadoes will be possible as well. Once again, just a brief overview of what we're looking at for tomorrow. There's a lot you can go a lot more in depth with this, but once again, just stay weather aware tomorrow. As always, have multiple ways to receive warnings. We'll be here ready to track the storms tomorrow. We'll have our live nonstop severe weather coverage up over on YouTube starting tomorrow, probably around midday tomorrow, depending on what happens with any new updates or anything of that nature. As always, thank you to all of our sponsors. Make sure to check them out over on Facebook. And as always, thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather. I want to say big thanks to Palmer's Roofing, J&S Auto Supply, Terry's Place, Fort Smith Therapy, 10 Energy and Nutrition, Patterson's Credit Union, Southern Dumpster Rental, and Landmark Insurance. Make sure to check them out over there. Make sure to check us out on all of our platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. As always, have a good rest of your Friday. Stay weather aware, and see you back here tomorrow for another look at your daily weather.